more experience now, and they've been playing really good basketball here in the month of February.
They were short on experience early, but they were not short on talent. That's for sure. You put him together with Tajavis Miller. Nice little combo there in the backcourt for David Richmond, who's got some really talented players to come to his program. In his stint as the Bison's head coach, he comes in number 2 all-time at North Dakota State in wins. As of tonight, Andrew Morgan, Tassos Kamateros into the center circle, tap controlled by South Dakota, and we are underway. EJ Plitzawhite kicks it over. Mason Archambault off the rim. Rebound controlled by Bowden Skunberg, and now North Dakota State gets its first shot on the offensive end.
This North Dakota State team, they love to get ball reversals and make you work defensively.
Javis Miller too strong, but the rebound falls right into the lap of Andrew Morgan. And he goes to work on Tassos Kamateros. He scores up and over. That has to feel good for Morgan. He struggled mightily in the 2 meetings against USD this season.
Yeah, he only had 1 point the last time these 2 teams met.
Starting lineup there for South Dakota, brought to you by Dakota Bank. Of course, AJ Plitzawhite, 2 years ago, it's a big part of this team, got injured right before the Summit League tournament. Didn't get to play, had to sit out all last year. So this is his first tournament game. In transition, North Dakota State trying to run the floor, and it's knocked out of bounds by USD. The Bison will keep it as you look now at their starting lineup. Of course, Grant Nelson, but Bowden Skunberg, boy, he's been every bit as big down the stretch this season.
Yeah, and they have alternated between starting him and bringing him off the bench. He's starting tonight, but I mean, what a great offensive player he's been to go along with Nelson.
Keep an eye on that baseline double that you just saw right there. That was a big part of the game plan defensively in Vermillion against Grant Nelson. Big fella draws a foul there and heads to the free throw line. It's Cruz Perro Hunt's first and the team's first.
Yeah, those double teams that USD used on the low post, especially in the second game in Vermillion, really frustrated North Dakota State. We already mentioned Andrew Morgan only 1 point, and Dave Richmond's squad, which will really look to get a lot of paint touches, didn't get any of those really to their advantage in that last matchup.
So 2 free throws for Nelson, 4 straight points for North Dakota State, and the Bison out to an early 4-0 lead. See Wheeler Thomas, who Taylor talked about, hounding AJ Plitzawhite there. Fine there, Cruz Perro Hunt, they get it around. Kamateros a little short on the 3-point attempt. And Damani Hayes, that motor never stops running for that guy. If you paid any attention to South Dakota basketball, you are well aware of that in his tenure with the team. Nearly forces a turnover there, but Bison keep the basketball here.
NDSU fortunate there. They left Kamateros open from the top of the key, and that could be a recipe for disaster. He has lit them up twice this year and shot it well in both games.
Here's Nelson. Mason Archambault often gets the toughest defensive assignment for South Dakota. Handles it well there, going against the much longer and taller Grant Nelson. Errol Hunt, first points of the night for the Coyotes' leading scorer.
And that's a really good sign for South Dakota. Those mid-range shots are something they have struggled with quite a bit at times this year. And Cruz Perro Hunt getting that first one to drop.
Nelson, see that double coming on the baseline again. Wheeler Thomas spots up for 3. That one's too long. Rebound went to Hayes. Here comes Cruz Perro Hunt now into the front court. Looking to attack, drops it off. Hayes strong to the rim.
Cruz Perro Hunt's had good success early in this game, getting into the lane off the bounce. That time getting an easy dish.
Morgan gives way to Skunberg here.
South Dakota willing to make some switches early in this game too, living with some mismatches. There's Nelson, right place, right time, and he's got 4 early points.
Active hands there defensively for South Dakota. Stripped Skunberg, but Nelson right spot, right time, able to go straight up and finish. Otero, so for 2 from the perimeter to start the night.
Yeah, Grant Nelson's got to be careful, though. He's gotten sucked in a little bit there. South Dakota, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, 0 for 3 to start this game.
Nelson, how about him from deep?
USD starting their offense the same way every time. That's Cruz Perro Hunt bringing it up the left side, drag screen to the right, initiating this offense. Now he's calling for a ball screen here, late shot clock.
Get it from Hayes. 17-footer for Perro Hunt. Rolls off. Offensive rebound for Damani Hayes, and it's tied up on the floor. It is a jump ball, and North Dakota State will have it when we come back. Just getting started here on the Integra scoreboard. 6-4 early, North Dakota State on top in this Summit League quarterfinal matchup.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series. For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling.
Bravo! You use the Quicksilver card from Capital.
How about our MillionAuto.com keys to the game here coming back?
South Dakota, they need to heat up from the three-point line. This is the number 6 team in the nation in three-point percentage, nearly 40%. They're 0 for 3 to start this game. That's going to be a big key for them if they're going to win tonight. And for North Dakota State, when they get 3 players in double figures, they are almost unbeatable. We know about Grant Nelson. We know about Bowden Skunberg. Who's going to come alongside those two and be that third scorer? If they get that supporting cast, they are a really tough team to knock off.
Back to action here, 6-4. North Dakota State on top. Just under 16 minutes to play first half. Teams thus far combined 4 of 13 from the field, and a turnover here as Nelson's pass sailed over the outstretched arms of Jakari White.
Now give Max Burchill a lot of credit there for USD, and he's a guy they bring off the bench, Jay. Been a walk-on in this program, but I tell you, he is a tough defender, and they put him on Nelson there, and he bothered the 6'11" center there, and he threw it out of bounds.
White rises up, missed everything, and White corrals the loose ball.
Buckets hard to come by here early in this game.
South Dakota, North Dakota State involved, not a real shocker. Teams getting after each other on this end of the floor, on both ends, as a matter of fact. Here's Jakari White, and a big night from 3 in the first meeting in Fargo. And good hustle there from Burchill to keep the rebound alive.
Yeah, 6'4" Burchill really battling hard on the glass there. That's key.
How about 16 feet for A.J. Plitzowite? He gets his first field goal in the Summit League tournament, and considering all that he has been through over the last nearly 2 years at this point, Brad, boy, that had to feel awfully nice.
Absolutely. He was not on the court for nearly 600 days due to that injury. It was a long road back for A.J. Plitzowite.
That injury, by the way, did happen against North Dakota State on the last weekend of the regular season back in 2021. A foul there as Burchill closed hard on Wheeler Thomas, and 2 free throws coming up for the Bison freshman.
A great hustle there by Virgil, and then Blitza White, calm, cool, collected there.
Answered that air ball in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, I think Blitza White getting inside the arc, he is a very effective scorer there. I mean, you forget how good he can be with the ball in his hands.
Willard Thomas, 17 points in the first meeting against South Dakota. He did a lot of his damage right here, Brad. He was 9 of 10 at the free throw line that night.
Yeah, for a freshman, 86% on the year. Player that's just continued to get more comfortable running the point guard position for this NDSU team.
Paul Bruns checks in for the first time for South Dakota. He has played in the Summit League tournament before, but the last time he was wearing the green and white of North Dakota.
Freshman of the year last year in the league, and then moves over to wearing red this year.
Good swing there for Peril Hunt. Great look back, Birchall, and he buries it. Tell you what, Brad, he doesn't score a lot, but when he shoots it from deep, he's efficient.
Yeah.
Over 40% on the year.
A selective shooter. Cashed that one in. The first made three for either team.
So inside, Morgan, too strong. Is good help defense there to disrupt the big fella. Mason Archambault trying to push, draws the foul, and 2 free throws coming for the senior out of Rapid City, South Dakota.
This is just a veteran play by Archambault. You're not going to see a lot of transition baskets, I think, for either team in this game because they're both really good at getting back and not allowing that to happen. He saw a crease and took it hard.
Mason Archambault is down a little bit at the free throw line, and I say that almost jokingly because he's still at 88%, but he shot 92%, was second in the country from the stripe a year ago.
And that's why that was such a great take. I mean, he knew he could get himself to the line, and more often than not, he's cashing both of them in, and he did it just there.
He was actually 92% in conference play this year, so he met his number there, but overall in the year, 88%. First 2 points of the night for him. South Dakota has a 4-point edge.
NDSU about 3.5 minutes, Jay, since they've made a bucket here. That's one thing this team has struggled with in the Bison, some scoring droughts like this.
Scunberg rises up, left it short, offensive rebound. Grabbed by Grant Nelson. Max Birchall, what a task for him. Manned up with Nelson off the switch there.
Yeah, giving up about 7 inches in that matchup, and now the switch, Archambault has to try to check him down low too, and this is where the glass is going to matter for USD.
Scunberg takes it strong, and a rebound pulled in by Archambault. Great battle underneath on the glass. And a blocking foul will be whistled here against Tajavis Miller. Oh, check that. I think they got White instead. That's right. So it's the second team foul for North Dakota State.
Great push in transition here. USD, Eric Peterson's got his group really putting some pressure on North Dakota State in transition early in this game. And that all gets started. Archambault, great outlet, and Peril Hunt, who's been aggressive all game getting into the paint.
Catch and shoot, Archambault, that is a tough shot. Long 2, first field goal, but 4 straight points now for Archambault. It's 13-7 South Dakota.
Yeah, 7-0 run for the Yotes, and they have got guys that can really fill it up shooting the basketball.
Lance Waddles with the basketball now, out there for the first time tonight. Here's Morgan. Nice spin, left it short though. Boy, Morgan did everything right there. Great footwork, just couldn't finish. Deep 3 here for Peril Hunt. Left of the target. Good hustle to keep it alive by Comateros.
Now NDSU's all mixed up on their matchups, and they are going to get a fortunate break there as USD travels.
Yeah, great hustle by Comateros to create the extra possession, and then they give it away on the turnover.
Yeah, this was great hustle, and North Dakota State had guards trying to block him out. He kept it alive. North Dakota State going a little ISO there for Nelson, and that's a good call from the bench. He's got 6 now. They needed a bucket just to get them going offensively.
Keep an eye on 1,000 points. Grant Nelson currently stands at 997 for his career. Good look again for Burchill, just a touch too strong. He's racking up the rebounds here in the early going too, is Nelson. Turnover for North Dakota State sends us to another break. 11:30 to play first half. Coyotes leading NDSU 13-9 on the Agtegra scoreboard.
Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series. For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series. For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series. For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Bravo! You use the Quicksilver card from Capital.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling.
Everyone gets a BK stacker.
Tiny dancer.
2 linebackers.
It's Saturday primetime. Bucks Warriors on ABC.
Championship Saturday begins at 6, then continues Sunday on ESPN.
The Summit League men's and women's basketball tournament on Midcoast Sports, presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the exclusive orthopedics and sports medicine provider of the Bison.
11:30 to go first half. South Dakota on top 13-9. Both teams scuffling a little bit. South Dakota's warmed up on the offensive side just a touch. 5 of 13, still under 39%. But these teams combined right now 1 of 11 from 3.
Yeah, that's where the struggle's been from distance. And let's see how North Dakota State responds here. Now Grant Nelson going to the bench to get a little bit of a rest.
Matero started inside by Scunberg, dumps it off. Hayes now runs, left that runner just a touch short.
Now this is a North Dakota State team. When you look at Summit League games, Jay, they shot 48%. That's a great percentage. Only behind Oral Roberts in that category. But tonight, just 25% shooting to start out.
Davis Miller bricks another offensive rebound there for Morgan. Put back though, left it short. And Morgan's going to work on the offensive glass, just doesn't have the offense to show for it. Fall away jumper for AJ Plitzawhite off the dribble.
He's got a little extra bounce there. You wonder if, just having even just the 8-day break from their last game to today has helped a player like Plitzawhite, he's had to battle just game after game. I think that wear and tear has hurt him more than other players on his body.
Plitzawhite left Morgan there just for a second, came back over and picked up the foul as he kind of raked him across the arms. That's his first. And Nelson back onto the floor after a little break. Kari White heads to the bench for North Dakota State. Third team foul on South Dakota here. Just over 10 minutes to play first half. Scunberg going to work. You heard Freddie Coleman talk pregame, Brad. Scunberg's just gotten better and better every year he's been at North Dakota State. Boy, he's as confident as I can remember seeing him right now.
Yeah, he's over doubled his scoring average from where it was last year. Now 15 a game coming into tonight.
Couple of bodies hit the deck there. South Dakota turns it over. Scunberg now for 3, rattles it home.
The first made three for NDSU, and Skunberg 5 in a row to get NDSU within one.
15-14. Under 9.5 to play in this opening half. Materos finds Hayes. Kicks it out now. Here's Bruns. Guarded by Miller. Late shot clock. Cometeros off the mark.
That ball is sticking too much that time for USD. They got to keep it moving.
Skunberg again. 8 straight for Bowden Skunberg, and North Dakota State is back on top, 17-15.
Yeah, that is an 8-0 run for his team over the last minute, and the complexion of this game changed quickly. Well, both these teams willing to switch a lot of screening action early in this game, creating some very interesting mismatches. Morgan matched up on Cruz Peril Hunt that time, and Cruz Peril Hunt knew he could get right around Morgan and create havoc, and did just that.
So Peril Hunt will head to the free throw line now. I'll go to 2 of 2 thus far. Archambault, the only previous trip to this point for the Coyotes. And he will return to the game now. Waddles comes on for North Dakota State along with Joshua Strite.
The third time these teams are playing, and there is so much scheming that goes on with matchups. And how are you going to guard ball screens? That's the #1 thing that coaches really have to worry about defensively. And right now, both of these staffs willing, like I mentioned, to switch some screening action just to make sure that the ball handlers coming off those ball screens aren't getting free lanes to the basket.
Tied at 17 now. Wheeler Thomas rises up. And that rebound chased down by Bruns.
Just going to try to bully his way to the rim.
Drops it down. That baseline opportunity has been there for Hayes, but good recovery by North Dakota State.
Hayes only at 6'4". He struggles scoring in the trees there.
Bruns gets the task of manning up against Nelson here. Skunberg.
That was a heat check shot that time.
Yes, it was. Corner 3, too long from Archambault. David Richmond directing his team to slow it down a touch.
Those are the three-point shots that South Dakota needs to make. That was a really good penetration and kick. The Coyotes just 1 for 8 to start this game, 12%.
Great hustle by Strike to keep it alive. And we're tied at 17 with 7:15 to go.
Bowden Skunberg got the offense clicking here for NDSU. An 8-0 run on his own. And this game is tied with 7:15 to go.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
Everyone gets a BK stacker.
Tiny dancer.
2 linebackers.
Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling.
Bravo! You use the Quicksilver card from Capital.
Championship Saturday begins at 6, then continues Sunday on ESPN.
The unbelievable is everywhere. Welcome to the playoff push.
Talk about a youth movement. How about this for North Dakota State? No seniors on this year's team. 7 of their top 9 players in minutes, underclassmen. 6 freshmen. I mean, David Richmond had to reload. Of course, lost a lot of talent off last year's team. In guys like Sam Griesel and Tyree Edey. I mean, he had to reload in a lot of ways, although he had a couple of really nice pieces to load around in Grant Nelson and Bowden Scunberg, certainly.
Yeah, it was great to still have those guys anchoring you, but especially young at the guard spots. And 2/3 of the minutes played in Summit League games, though, by this squad were freshmen and sophomores. So, I mean, that's a lot of youth playing some significant roles on this team. That's a great skip pass there by Grant Nelson.
5 to shoot now for Scunberg. Rises up. Can't get it to go. And a foul on the rebound as Scunberg tried to hustle in there and tie up Max Burchill, but he gets popped with a personal foul instead. Let's check in with Taylor Fudge, rather.
Hey there, guys. I was in that last NDSU timeout, and it was very calm, all things considered. Despite the Bison only having 17 points offensively, head coach Dave Richmond was really preaching to stay locked in on defense and be active. He knows that the Coyotes have plenty of threats, and he says, keep boxing out, stay active, and this game is ours.
Sounds good. Thank you, Taylor. Coyotes, though, with the basketball now and a chance to get the lead. Won't do it there, though, as Farrell Hunt comes up short.
Jay, that last foul on Bowden Scunberg, not a smart foul, kind of a frustration one, but that was his second, so he goes to the bench. NDSU's leading scorer in this game.
Teams have combined to miss their last 9 shots now. Offense has been tough to come by. Right with it. Inside out. Wheeler Thomas got around Bruns. In and out.
Great help defense by USD. They realized an important fact, and that's that the ball scores, and so they brought a lot of help on the basketball that time.
Pass tipped, knocked out of bounds by Tajavis Miller. Didn't want to allow Cabateros to get a hold of that thing. And Coyotes keep it, though, 19 to shoot.
Yeah, these coaches asking their players to have a lot of versatility defensively in this game.
Oh, how about that finish from Paul Bruns? Up and under for his first field goal of the ball game, and South Dakota back on top by 2. Nelson spins, got all kinds of bodies on the floor. That basket will count for Grant Nelson, so he'll get a chance at a 3-point play here.
This is one of the reasons Grant Nelson's being looked at for the next level. Great ability to put it on the deck and finish.
Free throw here would give him 1,000 for his career. An impressive one it has been already. There it is, 1,000 points for Grant Nelson, the native of Devils Lake, North Dakota. Boy, has he put that town on the map here, much less the NBA radar.
Yeah, exactly. And just, when he came out of high school, everyone saw his size and his ability and thought he could be a really good player someday. But I'll tell you, he's worked hard in the weight room, hard to develop his body to where it's at now to become this player.
Farrell Hunt puts South Dakota back in front. Jakari White, his 3 comes up short, but he ends up back with a basketball. Now looking to put it back up and in, and he does. Muscles it up with Bruns all over him.
Jakari White, a player that played a year of junior college down in the state of Florida and has been a really nice addition to this team. Great energy off the bench.
And Burchill traveled. That's the second time Max Burchill has traveled. And we check it again with Taylor Fudge.
Yeah, guys, you were talking about Grant Nelson. The Devils Lake, North Dakota native went from averaging 6 points a game his freshman season to leading the Summit in rebounding and field percentage. He's also 4th in the conference in scoring. Now he's gaining that NBA attention like you guys were talking about. The last time an NDSU player was drafted, Lance Burwald in 1984. I spoke with Dave Richmond about Nelson's growth, specifically this season. He says he's more vocal, more assertive, and now he has 1,000 points in a Bison uniform.
Ironically, Lance Burwald has another connection to this game. He's part of the reason Tassos Kamateros is at South Dakota. He helped facilitate that particular move. Virgil in and out for 3, and North Dakota State stays on top for now at 22-21.
I think USC's got to feel good about being only down 1 right now, considering how poorly they've shot it from the 3-point line.
Morgan cut off there with help from Virgil. Nelson looking to go baseline. Nowhere to go, though. Doubling on that baseline. Don't allow him to travel it. And now White for a 3, and a tough one at that.
And the way USD is guarding Nelson, they're just not going to let him have one-on-one stuff, but that is freeing other players up, and that time White from the corner bangs in a huge one.
Well, that you had Bowden Skunberg with an individual 8-0 run. Now Jakari White has reeled off 5 straight for North Dakota State. The Bison have a 4-point lead as we head to a break ourselves. 3:39 to play first half. Jakari White and North Dakota State out in front.
Game on. Game on. Game on. Game on. Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling.
Bravo! You use the Quicksilver card from Capital. Bravo! You use the Quicksilver card from Capital.
Championship Saturday begins at 6, then continues Sunday on ESPN.
25-21, North Dakota State with the lead over South Dakota here. A little less than 3.5 to go before halftime. Coming up at the break, we will hear from St. Thomas head coach Johnny Tower here on our set. Going to look at our first half stats and highlights and look at our Pioneer performance shot charts. Kind of a pendulum swing, kind of the ebbs and flows of this game. USD has looked like the better team at times. NDSU has looked like the better team at times. Neither side shooting all that well, but right now the buys in the past couple minutes have kind of taken advantage.
It's a game of runs. It was South Dakota first, NDSU's come back. At the end of the day, this game is just kind of starting to figure itself out a little bit. Both teams are not shooting it the best, but at the end of the day, NDSU's got a couple threes that fell for them, and that's why they're up 4.
Back courtside to Jay Elson and Brad Newitt.
Thanks, fellas. Back to action here. 25-21. North Dakota State on top. Under 3.5 to play here in the first half.
Zone defense for USD out of the timeout. And you're seeing coaches do this more and more just to counter whatever maybe NDSU wanted to do out of their timeout.
Skunberg, floater.
That's just a great individual offensive play. Skunberg's been real aggressive in this game, and it's really paid dividends.
Lead is 6 now for NDSU. That matches their largest.
It's a tough matchup for Kamateros. Giving up some size, but he used a great counter move and spun back baseline to get that bucket against Nelson. That's a really nice hoop there by Kamateros when his team was facing a 7-0 run.
Morgan. Easy turn and score.
That's what Morgan does really well. He's not going to blow you away with anything skill-wise, but he is great at sealing and getting the defense out of position. And then when the ball comes, they're usually like that, real easy shots.
Shambo looking for some help. Here's Burchell now. Passes out. Bison wanted a turnover, or travel rather. And Comateros just can't find it from outside right now. They're 1 of 9 from 3.
Yeah, Comateros has had some terrific looks. Ones that he's going to make 50% of the time and hasn't gotten any of them to fall yet.
Nelson, no. Second time, yes. And a timeout for Eric Peterson as he wants to talk things over. NDSU, its largest lead of the night to this point, at 8 with 1:44 to play in the first half.
Now this was the play by Skundberg. Late shot clock, real aggressive. Showing some wizardry there with the ball handling. And Jay, this is Grant Nelson and why he's so tough to stop. Even though he misses the first one, he is right there to clean up the mess. And NDSU has hit 4 of their last 5 shots to go on an 11-2 run.
We talked a lot about, they've just got this ability to be where they need to be, and David Richmond's probably got a lot to do with it. I know he's got a lot to do with that. This time of year, they're ready to go when they get to Sioux Falls, Brad. And part of it, them and SDSU, only teams in the Summit League to finish in the top 3 in the league standings every year over the past 4 seasons. Bison finished in a tie for 3rd or better now in 7 of Richmond's 9 seasons. That's before you even get to here, and obviously they've had a ton of success in this tournament as well.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They've played in the last 4 championship games of this tournament, won 2 of them. And you know that's their focus here. And that's what they've been building to this entire season. Throw their overall record out the window. That doesn't matter. It's all about where you're at this time of the year.
Flips to White. Back iron, rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Grant Nelson. So Kyle Tokipa will get 20 to shoot. And have 1:20 on the game clock.
Now here's the thing for South Dakota. They've hit 1 3-pointer this game. They're shooting 9% from the 3-point line. This team is 40% on the year, 6th in the country. That's their strength. They've got to rely on it.
Statr Shambo has been a bright spot offensively in this first half for the Coyotes. He's got 6 now.
And honestly, this end, USD's kept themselves in it because I think they've played a pretty good defensive game so far, but it's starting to slip here late in this first half as Grant Nelson, Bowden Skundberg, those two have combined now in this game for 23 points.
Errol Hunt kind of got stripped partially on the way up there. Didn't have complete control of the basketball as he threw that one up toward the rim. And now he use it or lose it timeout called by David Richmond with 35.2 seconds remaining. Maybe go 2 for 1 here if you're North Dakota State.
They might look at that. They're going to have to go pretty quick if they want to try that. But if nothing else, I think this is about, hey, just let's make sure we get a really quality look here. This has been a great 2.5 minutes here lately for North Dakota State. They've hit 5 of their last 6 shots in a game where buckets were really hard to come by for a good stretch of it. Bison have had some great offensive efficiency here.
North Dakota State right now has matched its largest lead of this half, 8 points. South Dakota's led by as many as 6. That came back at the 10:36 mark.
Well, you watch North Dakota State play, Jay. They're just so disciplined. I mean, they know who they want shooting the ball. I mean, you look in this game, and Nelson and Skundberg have 17 of the 32 attempts. The other guys know their roles. No one's forcing stuff.
White. Oh, my, what a block by Damani Hayes. Well, he recovered well because he was beaten badly off the bounce there by Jakari White. It just blew right on by him. That's impressive defensive play right there from Hayes, who managed to get that cleanly without making contact.
Yeah, that was remarkable because he got blown by off the bounce. And that's a 2-point saving defensive block.
Pull-up jumper for Nelson. No good. Shot clock is off. Coyotes can keep it for the final try of the half. And a foul there from Wheeler Thomas. They had him to give, so smart. Get your defense set here now.
Yeah, that directive comes from the bench there. Also lets them do a little subbing, get Morgan off the floor here.
Blitzaway throws it up, and that'll do it. Nelson quarterbacks it down the floor, but it won't matter. And we have played 20 minutes here in Sioux Falls, this Summit League quarterfinal matchup between North Dakota State and start of the second half. 33-25, North Dakota State on top. Coyotes get the basketball first. But no question about it, USD's going to have to start knocking down some shots if they want to be in this thing at the end.
Yeah, when you look on the season for South Dakota, Jay, they've only been able to win one game all year long when they shoot below 37% from three. That's kind of their magic number, and they've got a long way to go to get to that percentage because they were just 1 of 11 in the first half.
That foul was whistled against Andrew Morgan, his second, first team foul. Comateros had a little space. Gets the first one to fall. That has to feel good for him. He was 0 for 4 from deep in the first half.
And basically had that same shot 3 times and wasn't able to get it to fall. Great start, though, for USD, knocking in their first one.
Second of the night. And Nelson draws the contact. That foul goes against Comateros.
This was the help defense that Eric Peterson was talking about in our halftime interview with him. And Comateros in the right spot, but you saw his right arm, Jay. It didn't stay vertical. It came down on Nelson's shooting arm. You've got to avoid those kind of fouls when you're in the right position. Make him make a tough shot.
Nelson, as we mentioned earlier, surpassed 1,000 points for his career in that first half, and now we get a foul off the miss, and that'll go against Damani Hayes.
That's about the last thing you want to have happen if you're USD. You get Nelson to miss the free throw. You want to clean that board up, go the other way, get some transition going.
Now a chance to get an extra possession here for NDSU, and they go right to the big guy. Why not? Grant Nelson, he swings it out to Javis Miller, knocks it down.
Now, Miller didn't catch it clean, but he still got the shot off. And, I mean, that's a big-time 3 for NDSU there. And like you said, a 4-point possession that time.
Archambault trying to answer. Clangs it off the back iron.
The Bison have controlled the tempo of this game exactly where they want it. 32 possessions in the first half.
And now a reach-in foul there as Comateros tried to bring it up the floor. And that goes against, I believe it's going to be Wheeler Thomas.
Okay, that turnover by Wheeler Thomas, that's only 3 turnovers total in this game for NDSU. They have been terrific taking care of it, something that they have gotten better and better and better at as their young guards have improved.
That's 2 for Thomas, 2 for the team here in the second half. Plitzaway, nice strong take there for A.J. Plitzaway going at the youngster Wheeler Thomas.
Well, A.J. Plitzaway has 2 inches on him in about 6 years because he's a lot older and a more veteran player, and he showed it.
Nelson. And rebound there for Plitzaway. Picks up his dribble. Comateros. Oh, that one almost went.
And USD's got to keep shooting those, and they've got to hope they start falling. If they do, this game is going to get a lot tighter very quickly.
Skunberg rises up. Again, kind of like we saw in the first half, Brad, where both teams went through a lengthy period where it was tough to get the ball in the bucket. We've seen a little bit of that here early in the second as well, but Archambault, a big one on the run. It's a 5-point game, 37-32. Been a nice night for Mason Archambault. 8 points for him. His scoring has been down all year. He's taken on a bit of a different role under Eric Peterson, more defensive-minded. but scoring when it matters here tonight in Sioux Falls. And now a travel whistled against Andrew Morgan. Another turnover for North Dakota State.
And here is that bucket by Archambault. I agree with you, Jay. He's probably been a little more aggressive tonight than he typically has been, especially off the bounce.
2 turnovers here in the early part of the second half for North Dakota State. They had 2 the entire half to start tonight. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by NDSU. 20 on the shot clock here. Coyotes will have it. Inbounding right in front of their own bench.
This is an opportunity for USD to chip into this thing. They're getting some stops defensively. As you mentioned, NDSU's got a couple turnovers here. Look at Grant Nelson's versatility defensively, switching on to one of the quickest players for USD. But Cruz Peralon says, hey, I don't care if 6'11's guarding me. I'm going to figure out a way to get a bucket.
Who needs balance to score, right? Peralon a big bucket. It's a 3-point game. And Scunberg quickly quiets that red-clad crowd here inside the Denny Sanford Premier Center. Stretches it right back to 5.
Big answer there.
Scunberg's got 12 now.
NDSU had gone 4 straight possessions without a bucket. They needed one.
Nice spin and finish for Damani Hayes inside. Cops getting downhill a little bit here.
They are not backing down, and that's a great way for them to free up the 3-point line as well, the more they do that.
Oregon, that's going to be number 2 on Comateros. And 2 free throws coming up from the big fella out of Waseca, Minnesota.
Tassos Comateros is a veteran player, and he knows better than to pick up both the fouls, honestly, that he's picked up here in this second half. You want to make Andrew Morgan have to make that shot. Don't put him on the foul line.
Although he does struggle there, 51% on the year. Rattles that one through.
Now the good news for Comateros is he did not pick up any fouls in the first half, so he can absorb a couple of them now here and not be in foul trouble. He is certainly one guy USD cannot afford to have him on the bench in any sort of foul trouble tonight.
He's the only Coyote with 2 fouls as of now. Morgan misses the second. Stays true to his average, 1 of 2 at the line.
Scunberg all over Cruz Peralon there.
Got it to go again off the run. Cruz Peralon, couple of big buckets, 40-38 your score.
Now USD's leading scorer now into double figures with 10. They're going at Comateros, see if he can pick up his 3rd.
Smart move by David Richmond and company, and Morgan with Comateros being a little more careful that time. Scores up and over the top. Pull up 3 for Plitzawhite. And that foul's going to go against Hayes, so now he's got 2. Well, Coyotes not going quietly. Starting to get that offense going a little bit here to start the second half.
Yeah, they only scored 25 in the first half. They got 13 out of the gate here to start the second frame, and they've sliced the lead down to 4.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on. Game on. Game on. Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on. Game on. Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series. For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
When Cruz Perro Hunt was coming back, he was going to be depended on to be a leader for this team. Well, he has delivered. Look at all those numbers.
Yeah, look at where he ranks in the team categories. He led this team in scoring last year. Had a 30-point game earlier this year against Western Illinois. And his last couple down the stretch, 18 a game. And I tell you, when this team needs a big shot, and we've seen it already in this game a couple times, key offensive possessions, the ball is going to be in his hands. He's done a terrific job getting into the paint off the bounce so far.
South Dakota outscoring North Dakota State 13-9 to start the second half here, after trailing 33-25 in the break.
Second time now, USD's come out of the timeout in zone. Something in the scout that they want to take away from NDSU out of timeouts here. Can they get a missed shot? And more importantly, Jay, can they get a rebound out of the zone?
Under 5 now. Here's Skunberg with it. Tough one. Good defense there for Plitzowite. He comes away with a basketball. Picks it up. Kyle circle it around the perimeter. Here's Perro Hunt. Nelson switches off in front of him.
Yeah, I was going to say, get the ball inside the Cometeros. He fumbles it, though, but he's going to try to back Skunberg down.
Up and over. Tassos Cometeros.
Skunberg went for a steal, gambled there, got himself out of position. You won't see him make that mistake very often.
Cometeros, 5 of his 7 points have come since the half. Offensive foul as Hayes steps in front of Nelson.
Well, after only having 2 turnovers in the first half, North Dakota State already 3 here to start this second half as Nelson picks up the offensive foul.
See a little emotion there. Lonnie Hayes plays with. Big play for his team.
Now Hayes, a former walk-on, played some Division II basketball before transferring into this program in South Dakota. The only reason he's out there is how hard he plays, the intensity.
Campbell keeps it alive. Now here's Perro Hunt, puts it on the deck to the window and rolls off the cylinder. Another offensive foul. There's a carbon copy. Just off the dribble, Jakari White, just as Nelson did, drops that shoulder into the chest of Perro Hunt. And he gets the call he wanted.
This is textbook, and you see how USD is playing NDSU here. A little bit of a halftime adjustment, Jay. They're really jumping out, trying to keep the ball on one side of the floor. A golden opportunity here for USD to get themselves back in this game after trailing 8 at the break.
Turnaround finish off the window for Cometeros. Setting up to be a big second half for Tassos Cometeros. We're tied at 42. Coyotes have hit 5 of their last 7 from the field. The Javis White can't go, and it's been 2.5 minutes since NDSU has scored it all. Cometeros for 3. Boy, that would have ripped the lid off the Denny Sanford Premier Center if he'd have hit that one.
And USC, they need to keep Cometeros shooting it, and he's got to shoot it with confidence because odds are eventually he's going to start making a couple. He's 1 for 7 tonight.
4 of 11 overall. 9 points, 9 rebounds. So knocking on the door of a double-double here. Plitzowite, Nelson, nice find there to Skunberg, who was cutting right down the middle of the paint.
And that's what North Dakota State needs to get back to doing. They need to get Nelson and Skunberg really involved offensively. They've only got 5 points combined here in this second half so far.
Plitzowite created some space and knocks down the triple.
Now USC's gotten great balance. All 5 of their starters here have scored in the second half already.
South Dakota has the lead for the first time in quite some time at 50-45-44. Now we get a foul here. Calm things down a little bit. That's going to be 3 now on Commentero, so it's a big one right there for South Dakota.
Here's a nice little overhead view, and you see the ball movement there. Grant Nelson seeing the floor. He leads the team in assists. And then A.J. Plitzowite, I don't know if there was a better player when he was fully healthy, a guy that could just use the ball screen and make you pay. And that was a little reminiscent of it right there. Step back 3.
Try to get it over the top to Morgan. He came over there. I think it was Burchell. And that'll send us to break. But the atmosphere is alive and well right now inside the Denny Sanford Premier Center. 45-44 South Dakota.
Running a business is tough. Lately, it's been even tougher.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series. For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series. For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on.
Stanford Orthopedics injury report, and A.J. Plitzowite, fortunately for him, no longer injured, but what an ordeal he was in with that knee injury suffered just about 2 years ago against North Dakota State in the final weekend of the regular season. It was an 18-month recovery. Made his way back. It was over 600 days by the time he got back on the basketball court for a game. Opened the season at Wisconsin. Made his home debut just a couple of days later. Scored 33 points in a win over Lipscomb.
Man.
That was an incredible moment.
He's had some big games this year, but I think you could see as the year's gone on, I mean, the wear and tear on his body's been hard. And I think when he got that injury, that makes it even tougher.
Swats that shot away by Jakari White, but I mean, the mental hurdles you have to encounter along the way. I mean, nobody that hasn't gone through something like that could ever understand, possibly. Blocking foul whistle against Peril Hunt. And now that's the 7th team foul for South Dakota. So the Bison shooting 2 here, but they're shooting the rest of the way now on every whistle. Let's check in with Taylor Budge.
There, guys, I was in that last USD timeout, and there was a lot of positive energy. You just mentioned A.J. Plitzowite. He was the one leading the charge. He was amped up. He was still telling guys that they need to be better down low, especially against Grant Nelson. The Coyotes were on a 7-2 run heading into Grant Nelson's free throws. A.J. Plitzowite has 9 points.
Thank you, Taylor. As Grant Nelson steps to the free throw line, just tied us up here.
Nelson 5 of 6 from the line, so 5 of the 15 he's got right here. And as you mentioned, North Dakota State could find themselves at the stripe a lot here in the last 11:40 of this one.
46-45, the lead change. That's the 8th lead change of this ball game already. Peril Hunt, how about 9? 9 lead changes, Brad, correct me.
Let's heat it up. It's March Madness. It's tourney time.
48-46. Peril Hunt with 13 points. Miller almost traveled with it.
Again, great help defense. Watch South Dakota off the ball. They're really clogging up the middle well.
Skunberg gets a look. Burchell got there, though. Great closeout there to just maybe rush him just a touch on that shot.
Yeah, USD really flying around. A lot of energy on their defensive end here in this second half. Coyotes have outscored North Dakota State by 10 in the second half so far.
Farrell Hunt with a nice dish. Zamani Hayes with a nice finish. Hayes with 6 points on the board. It's 50-46.
This is the guy NDSU needs to get touches to.
And he rewards the call as he turns around and scores. Matt Burchell in a tough spot there defensively, obviously, but he drew that assignment off the switch a lot in their matchup in Vermilion, and Farrell Hunt's down and clutching his left ankle there as he got tied up with Bowden Skunberg a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like he rolled it there. Not what you want to see if you're South Dakota, because Cruz Farrell Hunt here has been the man of late. Yeah, he stepped right on his foot.
Steps on the foot there of Bowden Skunberg, and that's, I believe, the third foul on Skunberg, by the way. 15th foul for North Dakota State, but obviously all the attention right now going to Cruz Farrell Hunt, who appears to be walking okay, considering how much pain it looked like he was in immediately when that happened.
You hope it's something you can walk off, maybe get a little tighter tape job on it, get back into this game. USD desperately needs him on the floor.
Blitzaway picks it up, swinging around. Here's Bruns now.
After shooting 36% in the first half, USD shooting 65% in the second half, but their first turnover.
Burchell got off balance there, lost the handle. Miller makes them pay at the other end. 51-50, NDSU back on top.
Both these teams so good at capitalizing on mistakes like that.
Blitzaway shakes the defender and has it roll off. Boy, he got the space he wanted there, Brad. Now Burchell trying to man up against Andrew Morgan. Boy, he's given a lot there, and Morgan scores plus the foul.
Andrew Morgan had struggled in the post, not only against USD in both matchups, but really his last 4 games, Jay, only averaging about 6 down the stretch of this season. But I tell you, he has played aggressive in this game, and he's sitting at 9 and about ready to have a chance to go double digits. This has been a quick 7-0 run by NDSU to take this lead back.
Cruz back out on the floor. Farrell Hunt along with Cometeros. Remember, Cometeros with 3 fouls. Him and Burchell in that kind of trouble category for USD. Just Skunberg with 3 for North Dakota State to this point. Morgan, it's a 1-and-1. Too strong, and a rebound for Cometeros. 18 fouls to 5 right now. Well, NDSU still with some to give. Burchell all alone. Morgan let him have it, and he buries it.
That mismatch can work both ways. Morgan got the best of him in the low post, but Burchell answers with the 3.
7th tie of the night now to Javis Miller. And Nelson didn't give Blitzaway the room he needed there. David Richmond doesn't love it.
Yeah, I think this is one of those that you probably could let go on the foul. But here's the 3-point shot by Burchell, and Morgan just could not close out quick enough. Here's that foul. And I think a lot of times you'll see that let go, even though there was some contact, as long as the travel doesn't happen.
Here's Cometeros going to work on Nelson. Tries to go up and under, and he does. Big second half for Cometeros, who's into double figures. He's got 11 to go along with 10 rebounds. Nelson. Offensive rebound for Morgan, and now we get a foul on South Dakota. That will go against Bruns. His first. But again, Morgan headed back to the free throw line. This is still a 1-and-1, but it'll be double bonus from here on out for NDSU.
Andrew Morgan has been a load inside, whether it's been scoring in the low post or rebounding the basketball. Nine offensive rebounds in this game for North Dakota State so far, and that's helped keep them in this despite only shooting 41%.
Yeah, NDSU second in the conference, just under 36 rebounds a game, but first with a margin of over 4.5. South Dakota near the bottom in that category, giving away an extra 2 per game. 55-54, South Dakota on top, under 8 minutes to play. Summit League quarterfinals winner gets South Dakota State here inside the Denny Sanford Premier Center in the semis on Monday night.
Fronting inside against Commentaries, not letting them have it.
Ooh, Perro Hunt saw visions of last year in that quarterfinal win against Kansas City, but he'll be at the free throw line when we come back. Big threes falling here tonight. Miller for NDSU, Burchill for USD, Coyotes by 1.
Here's to welcoming moments. Big.
Game on. Game on. Game on.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series.
Game on. 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 Game on.
The Summit League Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament on Midcoast Sports, presented by American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not.
7:38 to play in the Agtegra scoreboard. South Dakota leading 55-54. Who's paying more attention to this game than that guy right there, Eric Henderson, head coach of South Dakota State? Well, maybe his players, I suppose, yeah?
Yeah, they got the whole squad here, and waiting to see who they will play here tomorrow night at 8:30.
Heck, they're just hoping for 3-4 overtimes, right?
That is what they're cheering for. There's no question about that. And
check it with Taylor Budge.
Hey guys, Dave Richmond kept it short and sweet during that last timeout. He said, stay emotionally stable and no one has to be a hero. That's pretty much all he said during that last timeout, as his team is now down 3.
Right, Barrow Hunt gets them both, and then comes facing Archambault. As the Coyotes stretch the lead back to 3. Their largest advantage has been 6, which came all the way back to the 10:36 mark of the first half. NDSU has been up by as many as 9 early in the second half here tonight.
No doubt about it. It has been a game of runs.
Kari White, and another foul. And for Burchill, that's number 4. So, Jakari White to the free throw line.
North Dakota State has done a great job being in attack mode. These are going to be free throws 10 and 11 in this half alone. Can they convert them? Again, as a team, NDSU, one of the worst in the Summit League at just 70%.
I want to talk about wild splits year over year. Sha'Carri White in junior college last year shot 92% at the free throw line.
Yes.
65% this year.
That's really bizarre. If there's one stat you think would carry, it would be free throw shooting, right? Does it really matter what level you're playing at? You wouldn't think so, but for whatever reason, White with some struggles, but did make both right there.
Yeah, gets the important ones here. Bring NDSU back within one.
How about this in the full court pressure by NDSU? Just want to make USD work and use some shot clock here. The Coyotes have shot 65% in this second half, scoring 32 after only having 25 points in the first 20.
Comateros trying to go to work on Nelson. Lots of contact in there.
I thought that was pretty well officiated, though. I thought Comateros was creating as much contact as Nelson was. They let the big boys bang.
Blitzewine, good read on the entry pass. Now knocked away, and he turns it right back over. Scunberg with it.
It's a great play by Blitzewine. He just couldn't quite come up with the loose ball, though.
That kind of lost his balance after he got his hands on it. Here's Scunberg now. At Peril Hunt, well defended, forces a tough shot, and Archambault grabs the rebound. That's a kick off the foot of Archambault. Yep, it's going to go the other way. A couple back-to-back turnovers there. South Dakota's done a much better job taking care of the basketball here in the second half, but 2 straight possessions right there.
Yeah, they're down for 7 on the game, but like you said, the second half has been much better, and that's really helped contribute to their excellent offensive efficiency. The zone comes back. We've seen it just a few possessions here tonight, and it's been effective. Look at Nelson really attack, though.
South Dakota's making everything difficult inside right now for NDSU. They have done much better preventing the easy look inside. Miller, blocking foul on Archambault. And again, double bonus here, so NDSU heads back to the free throw line.
And this is where those free throws and the fouls mounting really matter. Those are really difficult plays to officiate. I think when in doubt, you probably have to call that a block. It didn't seem like an obvious charge to me watching the replay.
So Miller to the line, he's 68%. Freshman out of Lubbock, Texas. And you're thinking, Lubbock, Texas to Fargo, North Dakota. What's the deal? Well, there is a connection there. His mom, a former assistant softball coach at NDSU.
He's been a terrific addition. 6'4" freshman, going to have a very bright future in this program.
1 of 2. North Dakota State now 12 of 18 at the free throw line tonight, but that one from Miller ties us at 57. Even up for the 10th time tonight. Blitzewine fouled in the act.
Yeah, Wheeler Thomas was trying to stick on Blitzewine. Really did a good job fighting through a couple screens there. But you'll see this right here. He definitely had contact on the jump shot on the arm. Officials right there on top of it. Now, NDSU, a team we mentioned not great at the fouling. They're 12 of 18, Dave Richmond's group, but you flip it the other way in USD, one of the best in the Summit League. And it depends too, I mean, having the right guys there matters. And you got guys like Blitzewine, Peril Hunt, Archambault, all these guys in the mid to high 80% range. Blitzewine cashes 2 in there.
And pay attention as we go forward, the free throw line.
Absolutely.
12 of 18 for North Dakota State. Blitzewine's 2, they're 8 for 8.
Yeah, in a game that's this tight, it is going to come down to those little things. USD has gone to this zone, and we'll see. The last couple times they've done it, Jay, when it got to late shot clock, they manned up out of it. Let's see if they do that again.
Nelson. And Hayes to the floor in a heat. And free throws coming up for Nelson. And that for Damani Hayes is number 3. So South Dakota had been a decent spot at the start of this half in terms of the foul situation, Brad, but now you've got Burchell with 4, Comateros and Hayes with 3. Wheeler, Thomas, Scunberg, Morgan have 3 for North Dakota State as Nelson hits the first of 2.
Eric Peterson's going to have to manage that foul trouble. He does not have a deep bench, especially when it comes to the post position. Thomas really trying to get after Plitzowite and wear him down, make him really have to work to handle it.
Got tied up there. Peril Hunt drops it off. Hayes off the window and scores. Boy, they had to scramble to get it, but it counts just the same.
That first field goal by either team in almost 3.5 minutes.
Bison have gone nearly 5 minutes without a field goal. Nelson trying to change it, but he can't.
Yeah, they're 0 for 6 during that stretch. Got to the foul line to get a few points, but well, you just get a feeling in this game, a team that can get a 2-possession lead is going to really gain some major control, and USD is going to have a chance to do that right now.
Well, Plitzowite, again, you see it, the aggression, and you start to wonder, again, the amount of time off. They played last Saturday against Kansas City. He got a full week and a day, almost a full extra day. And I don't know if you remember, but when they went to Frost Arena and nearly knocked off South Dakota State in the regular season, they had 3 days off that week, and he had a great night that night. And so that's part of the recovery process for him, and not only just in general, but recovery night over night from playing the game of basketball again.
Absolutely. And
he's more aggressive tonight. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned this is really his first crack at the Summer League tournament, and he's making the best of it.
62-59. Buckle up. We got a long way to go here in the Summer League quarterfinals.
Agtegra is dedicated.
Game on. 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 Game on.
Last Summit League quarterfinal, and it's been a good one from the start. 62-59. South Dakota trying to pull the upset over third-seeded North Dakota State. USD 6-10 all-time in this Summit League tournament, Brad. They were runners-up in this event on this floor back in 2018. Eric Peterson was an assistant coach on that staff under Craig Smith, of course. But they've gone on and reached the semifinals each of the last 2 seasons. Lost to NDSU at the Pentagon, lost to SDSU here last year. But it's just the second time all-time in the tournament that these two teams have faced each other, and they have not disappointed us.
Absolutely not. This is a battle that you would expect to see in March in this tournament. It is survive and advance, and which team can do that here in the last 420?
Scunberg almost got it. but he'll head to the free throw line and take it there.
Skundberg, who had 10 points in the first half, been quiet here in the second half with just 4.
Got to pay attention to this foul situation for USD, though. Archambault gets his third there. Joining Cometeros and Hayes with 3. And again, Virgil with 4. And NDSU already in the double bonus. USD will be on the next whistle. 2 there at the stripe for Skundberg. He's got 15 points. And the lead back to 2.
Really good help on the ball screen, but USD takes advantage of it.
Archambault got his own rebound. Wide look for Plitzawai. Boy, he missed that badly.
Yeah, it just didn't come off his hand clean. It was spinning sideways from the get-go.
Finds a chance to even it up again here. Already been tied 9 times tonight.
They are giving Nelson a lot of touches down the stretch here.
So Hayes picks up his 4th foul. 2 more free throws coming up for North Dakota State when we come back. 63-61 Coyotes on the Agtegra scoreboard.
Together for his first game of
Game on.
Vintage Y2K.
Yes.
Oh, retro Samsung. Very impressive.
You think so?
Game on. 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 Game on.
Vintage.
2 leading scorers in this game. Bradley Grant Nelson for North Dakota State. Cruz Farrell Hunt for South Dakota have done their part, leading the team in scoring. Nelson with 20, Farrell Hunt with 15, and we've got a great ball game cooking here. 63-61. South Dakota on top with 3:44 to go.
I think impressive, too, is both of them have done other things besides scoring the basketball. Grant Nelson, 11 rebounds to go with those 20 points, Jay. And Cruz Farrell Hunt, 6 assists in this game. So he's really set his teammates up well in addition to his 15.
Just the second miss at the line tonight for Grant Nelson. Bison 16 of 23, 17 of 23 now, 13 of 19 in the second half at the free throw line, but they still trail by 1, 63-62. And there will be your double bonus for South Dakota. Jakari White cuts off Plitzawai, sending AJ back to the free throw line.
Now, Dave Richmond not happy with Jakari White there. You know, when we get this juncture now, the double bonus there, you do not want to be picking up fouls like that. Just trying to simply put a little pressure on the ball.
AJ's been dialed in at the stripe so far tonight. He's had a nice ball game. Double figures for the 17th time this season. And now 6 of 6 at the free throw line to stretch it back out to 3. Keep an eye on the foul trouble. Hayes, Virgil with 4. Cometeros, Archambault with 3. Both teams now in the double bonus, so lots of free throws the rest of the way. And now Farrell Hunt has picked up his 3rd foul.
NDSU has not scored a field goal, Jay, in almost 6 minutes. But they've been able to stay right in this game because they are just having a parade to the foul line. This is about to be attempts 25 and 26. And this is really becoming bad news for Eric Peterson's team. I mean, they don't have any depth. Fouls mounting all over their lineup, and you know, you got to start thinking too. I mean, there's a possibility this game goes OT, and that would be really hard for USD.
Nelson gets them both this time. 1-point game. Nelson with 22. 23 rather. 11 of that has come at the stripe. It's a kick ball on Miller. South Dakota will inbound with 20 on the shot clock.
And USD would really prefer if they could just go with this starting 5, I think, for the rest of this game. This is certainly their best lineup offensively and rebounding as well.
Flips to White, drops it off Hayes, not a threat from out there. And now Archambault looking for a way to the rim, got tied up, tries to drop it off to Hayes, knocked out of bounds by Nelson. Just 3 on the shot clock here, so South Dakota gonna have to make something happen quickly here, and Eric Peterson wants to talk it over with 2:52 to play.
I like this timeout by South Dakota. They had 3 timeouts. Use one here. It uses where you run your bread and butter out of bounds play, where you feel really good about getting a clean look, because a bucket here is huge.
Boy, you mentioned it just a minute ago, Brad. I mean, North Dakota State has not made a basket in 6 minutes and 24 seconds. And yet we're right on the edges of our seats here in the Summit League quarterfinals.
Well, they've
free throws aren't as exciting.
Yeah, they aren't.
But it's made the game fun, that's for sure.
Well, NDSU shot more free throws in the second half than they have field goal attempts. So that tells you a little bit about how much they've been to the line.
Quickly in, here's White. Beats the horn. Hayes keeps it alive, and an extra possession for South Dakota here.
Long shots, long rebounds, and Damani Hayes did a really nice job tapping it out.
White trying to attack again. Got it to go over Nelson. 67-64. White with 17. Miller for the tie. Got it!
NDSU's first bucket in almost 7 minutes. And how about the freshman Miller stepping up and taking a gigantic one there?
He's hit a couple of big ones here in the second half. He sure has. And now Cometeros almost answers. Another offensive rebound for Hayes. And another bonus possession for the Coyotes.
2 huge O boards in the last 2 possessions.
Step back 3, White off the front iron.
Yeah, he's a little tired there, left that one just a little bit short.
Almost felt like he rushed it just a touch, had some space. But now NDSU a chance to get back in front for the first time since the 9:16 mark of the second half. Scunberg, turnaround, no. Rebound collected by Cometeros.
Well defended by USD, and then Cometeros did a great job blocking out on the glass.
30-second timeout whistled for Eric Peterson. 67 with 1:14 to go. AJ White has had himself a night. What a finish here over the outstretched hand of Grant Nelson. But right back, the youngster to Javis Miller. A huge 3 to tie us at 67 apiece.
Big plays by guards down the stretch here. Boy, I tell you, every possession here, of course, going to be super magnified here in the last 74 seconds of this game.
South Dakota.
Yeah, I was going to say, just what a treat here. I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's been a fun game, fun atmosphere. Crowd has been engaged all night. Obviously the red outweighs the green, but those Bison folks have been awfully boisterous themselves. Then you got all the folks in blue who are just curious observers right now.
Absolutely.
Not sure who to pull for. It's really conflicting for those.
I mean, both these schools are pretty big rivals to them.
1 minute to play in regulation. Perro Hunt draws the foul, almost got it, but he'll take the 2 free throws. We talked about when you need a shot, Cruz Perro Hunt got to be in that guy, late game situation. Who's got the ball in their hands? The guy from New Zealand.
Absolutely, and they clogged up the middle pretty good, but then that help defense kind of left and gave Cruz Perro Hunt just enough room, and ball fake to get Miller off balance and draw the foul.
Perro Hunt. First miss of the night at the free throw line for South Dakota. Perro Hunt had been 4 for 4. That one puts South Dakota back on top by a single digit. 68-67. Scunberg having to work on Archambault. Gives it away. Swing it out. Here's Miller now. Picks up a screen from Morgan. Kari White goes to work on Plitzawai. Left it short. Rebound. Perro Hunt.
I think North Dakota State's going to have to come foul here.
Oh, and the Coyotes turn it over. Oh, goodness. Just try to get it in the front court. Perro Hunt put too much on it and overshot the outstretched arms of Tassos Comanteros. And NDSU gets the basketball back with the option to hold for a final shot.
Just a crucial mistake by USD. Honestly, Cruz Perro Hunt probably should have just hung on to that. I mean, they were probably going to need to come foul at some point there. I think he was just trying to make sure they didn't get a 10-second violation and just put that thing a little bit too high for Comanteros to bring it in. Now, if you're South Dakota, you're still up 1 here, right? So the pressure is on NDSU here.
You just got to not foul and not give them a clean look, right? I mean, play some good defense here.
And
put it on them.
And I think if you're North Dakota State, I think you're going to have to think about attacking early here. And the reason I say that is if you don't score in North Dakota State, then you still want to have time to be able to foul, put USD on the line. And then even if they make them both, it's a 3-point game, you still have a chance to tie. So you want to give yourself a couple of options there. I think if you're Dave Richmond, you're willing to take an early shot. Even if you make it, then you may have to play one more defensive possession. This is going to play out in a very interesting way here in the next 26 seconds.
The nice thing for David Richmond, everything on the table here. With a 1-point deficit, you can go high percentage. You can take the best look available. But you do have to hurry, because if you miss, you need to get it back one way or another. Yeah. Whether that means sending them to the foul line or getting the old board.
You got to think they're going to get Grant Nelson the ball and try to give him some space to operate. He's just had a terrific game yet again, 23 points.
Monty Hayes starts on Nelson underneath. Inbound goes to Wheeler Thomas. The freshman shakes off his defender. Here's Miller, has a couple of big ones. Second half, the youngster got it! Timeout.
Blew the whistle. We're not sure why.
David Richmond called the timeout, and he did. But how about this finish for the freshman to Javis Miller? Hasn't had a huge night offensively, Brad, but boy, the ones he has made have been huge.
Yeah, hit a big 3 a few possessions ago, but nothing bigger than that one right there. And they used Nelson well, kind of as a decoy. He got involved in some screening action, freed up the guards, and Miller really had a pretty easy drive there for that finish. And now if you're North Dakota State, a team that continually prides themselves, this program, on defense, really that's where you're at if you're the Bison. You're one stop away from getting yourself into the semifinal. And if you're USD, again, you've got this opportunity here. Did the Coyotes try to get a quick shot? I think they got to at least look to get something is fairly early here so you get yourself a chance at an O board.
All right, Plitzaway. Shot clock is off. Kyle's got to make it happen quick. Here's Perro Hunt. Dumps it down. Hayes is there. Blocked at the rim. Foul with 4.6 seconds remaining, and Eric Peterson is beside himself.
Now this game is far from over. And the officials are doing a good job here. They need to let Eric Peterson vent here. I mean, there was a lot of ball there. I'm not sure there really was a lot of foul. I mean, it was physical, but it's physical at the rim.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like from that
angle. That looks like Miller got him. Watch to Javis Miller.
It's tough to see from this angle.
That's tougher. The half-court angle was one where it looked like there was some contact with the arm of Damani Hayes. And what is it? Are they reviewing?
Time. That's the only thing they can be looking at right now. And maybe who the shooter would be here for NDSU.
This is the one right here to Javis Miller. Watch the right arm of.
Yeah, it looked
that's
like
a tough one.
Yeah, it looked like he got Damani Hayes' right arm with it.
I mean, ball in hand, very close to simultaneous contact there, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's a tough play to officiate because there were two defenders. One of them did block the shot. The other one kind of hit the arm. But here's Skunberg, the chance to extend the lead.
And he misses the first. Well, South Dakota does have one timeout remaining, so you know they're going to call that as long off a make or a rebound here. But they got to get the rebound. If he misses, won't matter now. South Dakota uses its final timeout.
They haven't yet. They may look to advance at half court and then use it.
Yep,
or
that's a good point.
They may just choose to go. They just had a quick stop here.
Hayes to inbound, finds Cometeros, handoff goes to Plitzaway. From half court, counts if it goes, and it doesn't. And NDSU survives here in Sioux Falls. What a game.